Respect is a very important aspect of human life, and all of us want respect. In fact, we as human beings deserve respect, and anything in nature does. Stay with me as I peel the layers of this concept. But here is a very important question for us to consider as we start. Should respect come easily, naturally, and simply to you in any conversation? Think about this, and I will come back and address this question towards the end of this video. And as you watch this video, also take some notes and leave your comments and your learnings in the comment section of the video so that I know what worked for you. And do subscribe to the channel and spread this message around. Now, coming to the concept of respect, come to think about it, what is respect? Some of us are told, choose your words carefully. Others have learned that possibly listening to others is respect. Then we are also told, practice compassion, respond to others nicely, watch your nonverbals, and so many such lessons. But does this translate into us being a respectful person? Does it translate to those around us feeling that we respect them genuinely? Most likely, no. And that's where we need to understand that the concept of respect is about consistent thoughts, consistent feelings, consistent behaviors, and a consistent interaction that we have with others. And it is through that consistent set of thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and interactions that the other understands that we genuinely respect. This is not circumstantial. This is not about the other personality in front of you. This is not about what the interaction or what the dealings are. You can be respectful to others despite everything else that's happening in the world, because respect is what you carry on your inside. It's about your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and the way you plan your interactions. And it's also the grace that you practice no matter what the situation. So keep that in mind. But to do this, you have to understand these 6 behaviors that I'm going to cover. And what I will help you with is, what do you need to stop doing, start doing, and what's the need that you need to touch upon behind it. The first thing, and this is sort of foundational, is that you need to stop sugarcoating your bitterness and heal yourself. That's when you will genuinely start showing respect to others. Why this? This is very internal to us, because in modern life, everyone has their fair share of stress, from relationship stress to financial to what you need to get done at work to commutes. There are so many things that are constantly challenging us, and within that space, it's easy to feel bitter, challenged because of sorrow, anger, and so many other such things, which are the reactions that we have to this world because of us being unprepared. That bitterness needs healing. Sometimes it's something that we can focus on with a cleansing routine or some basic exercise, etc. But some of it just goes deep into trauma that we have experienced because of challenges, losses, etc. That's where you will need a counselor, a therapist, spiritual guru, a mentor to work with you to get through whatever that challenge is. So whatever your thing, whether it's self-help that will help you or you need external help, seek that help, heal it. And it's also a lot about your own lifestyle, because if your body is unhealthy, your mind is unhealthy, then again, those challenges arrive. So plan and clean up your life, heal yourself, and you will definitely have the foundation on which you can become a very respectful, respecting human being to others. The second behavior, and this one is again fairly critical for us in all our interactions. Stop correcting or to impress others or showing good intention. Just be what the other person needs you to be. Be that contractually and with boundaries. Remember this, because many of us have this deep need within us to come across as, a rescuer, a helper. You want to show excessive care, attention, etc. So that's a very deep need that sits inside many of us. There is nothing that you can do about that need. It's very human. But what you definitely need to understand is that in that interaction, whether you are the leader, or the boss, or you are the friend, or you are the spouse, or you are the parent, ask the other person, what do you need from me in this situation? Do you want me to just listen? Do you want to work with me for a solution? What is it that you want? Depending on that, modulate your approach. Don't just jump in thinking that, oh, I have seen this situation, I have experienced something in life, and I will be able to offer something of value. No. Just because you have been through something, just because you know something, that may not be valuable. It may not even be scientific or correct. So do not offer your life's nostalgia as advice to others. So stop correcting others to look good or to show your care. Be what the other person needs you to be contractually and with boundaries. Practice those healthy boundaries. In fact, I had spoken about this extensively in a set of videos. I'll leave those links for you to look at. And that narrative will help you. The third important behavior that you need to change is very similar to the second one, but slightly distinct here. Stop listening only to respond to others. Develop the ability to understand others very deeply. And again, in our modern life, many of us have this need to completely, get out of a situation quickly. You want to finish things, you want to fast forward things. Or on the other side, you, you want to show who's in control, who is in charge, and you want to make sure that the situation turns out to be in a certain way. But whatever that need because of which you are jumping to conclusions, you are saying what you're saying by guesstimating, estimating, or even if it's the automatic wiring in your brain which tells you that you know exactly what the other person is saying, don't do that. Don't listen to just respond to the other person. Understand where they're coming from. You have to create that compassion, that empathy within you, so that the other person, is open enough, shares what they share, and you understand everything from the context to the content of their conversation. It's very important. So develop this habit. Understand others deeply. Understand it their way. Don't understand their world in your way. Otherwise, the tussle will go on. The fourth behavior is stop being nice to others while judging them secretly on the inside. Be genuine, be open, be kind with others. And and this essentially happens when there's nothing to do with you, but it's just that you somehow have a challenge with the other person, whether it's their approach, the way they're dressing, what they're speaking, what they want to do. And in that approach, when you are being nice while judging them, you are sending a lot of negative energy towards them unknowingly. And whatever that interaction is, it's not open. You are not being who you need to be in that situation. And over a period of time, this is only going to degrade that relationship that you are in with that person. And somewhere the truth will come out into the open, and it will look very bad on you at that point in time. In fact, these are those situations where suddenly the other person may start feeling that, oh, all of these years or months or whatever the period of that relationship was that you've been faking, it literally can shake the faith of the other person in human beings around. So be genuine to others. Don't judge them on the inside or outside, either which way. Do what you need to do openly. Learn to converse and work with people better. The fifth behavior is again a very critical one. Here is where people start using respect for their gains, and it becomes a manipulative behavior. So stop using respect for your gains. Be honest, take a stand. And this happens many times with people in positions of power or somebody who's a provider to you. So people do it with their bosses or others in power, or there are times when a spouse does it to the other, or there are times when parents do it with the children, or the children do it with the parents. Don't do this. Don't use respect to manipulate, because in that situation, you are showing the other person that I'm respecting you just so that the other person can listen to you or do things your way or continue to provide for you. But when that situation goes out, your reality will get exposed sooner or later. Maybe the other person will come to know through a third party. Maybe the other person will guess that you actually don't respect through some other actions. Whichever way, that relationship is going to go down the drain if you are going to use respect to manipulate. Let alone this, it's bad karma. Even if the other person doesn't discover this, it's sheer bad karma, because When you manipulate, you do something, you gain on something which is in a bad manner, it's a bad method, it will come back to bite you at some point in time. So do not use respect to manipulate the other person. Be genuine, take a stand, and sometimes if that relationship is not working out for you, it's better to get out or fix the relationship permanently instead of manipulating the other person. Manipulation is not a good habit. It's not respect at all. And that brings me to the most important behaviors. And here I'm going to fall back on our Shastras and use a certain framework of Shadvikaras. So stop believing in your version of reality. The reality, this world is much bigger than what you are thinking through your lens of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsya. And what does that mean? Kama is your craving for worldly things. Krodha is your anger. The Lobha is your greed. Moha is your attachment to the material things and your desires of what you want to gain in life. Your mother is your arrogance and literally your pride and the false pride that you carry. And Matsarya is the jealousy that you carry. So all of us define our world through the little positive identity that we have, but a lot through the negative emotions. And the Shadvikaras especially call out these negative emotions. So whatever that world that you have defined, whatever the truth of the world that you have defined through your lens of your identity, your cravings, your anger, your greed, your attachment to things, your arrogance, your jealousy, that's not the whole world. The whole world is much bigger. In fact, your version of the truth may be just one small aspect out of the 7.4 billion versions of truth, which is still not the actual truth. The universe, the world is much bigger. Mother Nature is much bigger. So learn to recognize what is real, what is unreal. And the first few steps that you can take on this is really understand multiple perspectives, multiple ways that people look at this word. Have conversations, work on ethics, work on values. That's where respect essentially comes in. So, yet again, start understanding the world through multiple lenses, not just believe in your own lenses. These 6 behaviors are very critical. And when you make that shift, like I said, your pattern of thinking, feeling, acting, and your interactions will shift genuinely. And going back to the question that I started with, that should respect come naturally and easily? The answer is yes. Respect should not be something that you make an effort to, but you have to settle these 6 bad behaviors before respect starts flowing from you. Where should you start? I would say start with behavior 6. Change your version of reality itself. Stop looking at the world through your Shadvikaras. That itself will shift you significantly. If there is one thing that you can definitely implement, you should definitely implement, you must implement, is the 6th behavior. The rest will automatically follow if you do that one. Be respectful. Do yourself a lot of good.